Doing a test cut. We're going to test cut Uniquely Why Not PU HTV. Whenever we're working with a brand new material such as heat transfer vinyl, it is always advisable to do a test cut. The reason being is that it gives you a chance to see if your settings on your machine are correct for the material. We are going to cut a shape. In this case, I chose a heart. I like to choose a heart because it has points and round parts to it. I'm going to shrink it up a little bit because it really does not need to be very big. I always like to buy a little bit more than what I actually need for my project so that I can make sure I can do a test cut. Now I'm going to hit mirror. Always a good idea to mirror, even though this image is symmetrical and doesn't really need to be. Almost all heat transfer vinyl needs to be mirrored because you're actually cutting the back side of the material. Now, the next thing we're going to do is click Continue and choose our material setting. I find that the very best material setting for our Uniquely Why Not heat transfer vinyl is the everyday iron-on. Sometimes you might need to add a little bit more pressure, but for the most part, default should be sufficient. You should only need to increase your pressure if your blade is starting to get dull, and in which case you may want to think about changing it. Now we're going to take our little sample piece and we're going to put shiny side down onto our mat. We're going to use our brayer to make sure it's good and stuck down because a sticky mat and a sharp blade are also equally important. And then we're going to hit go, cut it, weed it, and look how beautiful that turned out. If you didn't get a good cut, then go back, take another piece, and try again, this time adjusting maybe the pressure or whatever you seem to notice about this cut that needs adjusting. The next step is to press our design. I have my heat press set to 300 degrees, medium pressure for 10 seconds. I'm going to press my little sample piece just to get the moisture out and get any wrinkles out. And now I'm going to apply my little sample piece. I've got my little heart there. And now I'm going to press it for the 10 seconds. If you're using an easy press, do not increase the temperature, but maybe increase the time that you press for if you don't get good adhesion. With an everyday iron from your house, you might have to play around a little bit with the settings because you do not know the temperature. Now look at that. As you pull away the carrier sheet, you should be able to see if it's adhered. And look at that. It is beautiful. Success. Happy crafting.